guys, we're talking. All right. Bananas, we're live.
Bananas. Bananas.
Hello, everyone.
Pajamas. Oh, Chambers.
Let me just refresh this. I see the stream exists. I'm getting an ad for the authentic Jurassic World experience.
Nice.
It's a Jurassic World mobile game. That's
You've made me a penny.
A penny.
a penny.
Your thoughts?
Singular
Good stuff.
penny.
Good
Come
stuff.
on.
I think I'd have to watch the ad a couple more times to make you that penny, though. to be
Frankly,
honest.
yeah. No, I got an ad for fun.com.
Oh, are you having fun?
I have used that website for a few things though.
Oh, I guess.
It's
Fun
cute.
things.
It's called fun.com. It's a bunch of geeky, nerdy stuff.
Oh,
It's like ThinkGeek before they got taken over by GameStop.
it's targeting you then.
Yep.
It knows.
You've
Funny
been
enough, I
targeted.
didn't see the ad till after I'd already gone to that website and bought stuff, and I was like, "What?"
They're just trying to get you to come back, I guess.
I suppose. I was like, I've bought like 10 Funko Pops from there. Leave me alone. I've bought
I've done
gifts
a
for
chat
people and
ad.
everything.
An ad for =𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Oh,
That's some good cheese.
cheesy.
That's some
What is
good
that?
cheese.
Nom, nom, nom.
That's a cheese?
It's a type
Yeah.
of cheese. It's a nice soft cheese. It's
Oh,
good.
interesting.
Chambers.
It's good. Cheese. Cheese. Cheese, Louis. Somebody named Louise is going to be listening to this podcast and be like, what?
I have a student whose middle name is Louise. And she hates it. And I'm like, I like the name Louisa, but...
I think it's funny that you know your students' middle names. Like, I don't never talk about my middle name.
Oh, well, I've taught her since she was 3.
Oh, well, that checks
And
out
she's
then.
12 now.
Wow.
Yeah, now she's one of my assistants.
Ah,
So that's-
Louise.
Hey, I
really
didn't
crazy.
get an ad. Am I broken?
You're broken. You're not worth advertising to.
You didn't make him any money.
No money for Daniel. All right, sorry.
Yes, this is Jesse's stream, so it's fine. Oh no. Natsu got an ad for bottled eggs?
Bottled?
Do you
What
guys
do you
see?
mean bottled?
Do you guys see the egg on the stream?
I do.
egg?
I do. He's pretty eggy.
It took me
Oh yeah.
Very
multiple
existential.
hours to do that frame by frame.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful egg.
Originally, I was actually making it for you, but then I was like, this is way too cool.
It's mine now.
But I gave it to you anyway, so.
What do you mean for me? What?
Because you like egg.
I do like egg. That's my alert box on my streams.
It is.
Similar to that. Is egg. He comes and whistles.
I wanted it to where he would just walk along the screen, but I couldn't find a cutscene where he was doing that. So I just had one where he was jumping around.
Nah, I like that.
Your alerts make so much more sense. I purposely made mine all messed up. So subscriber is Toadette dancing, but it's the sound when you get a jiggy from Banjo-Kazooie. So everything is just all mixed up, and I was like, I do what I want.
Mine's
that-
packed full of
getting-
RuneScape noises.
I love it.
What? Kayla, I thought yours was like a Boko's dancing, like Bokoblins dancing or something.
Yeah, and they're dancing to the sound of drinking a potion in RuneScape.
Is that what that is?
My mom and I have such good memories of old RuneScape.
You
Gosh, I must have been in elementary school.
The good old days.
The good old days.
But we learned very quickly, if a skull appears on the screen, go back to where you were. Because that means you can be killed.
That's
Yes.
fair.
Wilderness.
Dying is
We
not.
couldn't do that.
I don't know ye well. Anyways, how we doing, Jessup?
Yeah, Jesse, how we doing? Jesse,
No, we're
we've
good.
lost
I'm
Jesse.
just no. I gotta
staring
find
into the abyss.
I gotta find an image to put behind the chat so people can actually read it.
Are you
Helpful.
sure? I think reading the chat's overrated.
All right,
You
fine.
could change the font color to not be white if it's too hard to read. I had to do that the other day.
Or even make it a little bit bigger. Like the
Bigger.
All right.
bigger too.
Well, while you were doing that, don't be alarmed if you get a notification that I uploaded a YouTube video.
Which VOD are we uploading?
The Halloween one.
That was a fun stream. But the
Yeah.
yeah, those ones can take a while though. But
Yeah.
they're long.
Oh yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. You know,
No,
I don't.
I just
have my
realized I'm not sure I'm following you on YouTube.
Hey, you know what? That's okay.
I should be though.
You and the rest. I have 104 subscribers. Let's go.
All
I think
right.
that's good.
I mean, you just launched your channel like the other week, so actually,
Also,
that's pretty good.
I
All
think
things considered.
I started with like 70 subs because people were like, "Oh, Kayla has a YouTube and she's typing in the chat. Okay, we're gonna follow her."
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's how it do be.
All right, I got it. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Not apology accepted.
Good. I'd be disappointed. Also, yeah, speaking of bananas, somehow this wound up here.
What on earth is that?
I don't know. It's a banana.
I'm pretty sure you went out of your way and bought that. You were probably like in Target and you're like, "Oh, this reminds me of Daniel."
No. I would have bought an actual banana. You can eat
I've
those.
been known for being a
I have bananas right now.
borderline racially insensitive banana.
What? My cat loves bananas. She's got her catnip banana. She beats the crap out of it.
I love that. I love that.
Do you think your cat could take Garfield in a fight?
I don't know. Garfield eats a lot of lasagna.
Yeah, I don't think Garfield's much of a fighter.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't strike me as
He's a
much of
cat
fighter.
and he loves to eat.
And he hates Mondays.
Also.
All right, you guys ready? Cool.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hylian Gamescast, episode 142. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Animal Crossing DLC, the Age of Calamity DLC. We have a Wind Waker trivia. Nintendo released some interesting sales numbers for Breath of the Wild and some of the other Zelda games that I thought would be interesting to look at. And we can end with some Q&As from the chat. So, yeah. So the first piece of news, this Animal Crossing DLC. Is Daniel the only one that's been able to play it?
No.
Streamed it.
Yeah, the Geek streamed it like as soon as it went
So like
live.
the update is live, but the home designer DLC isn't live yet.
Oh, okay. That's what she said she was downloading.
Yes.
Yeah. So the update, you can download Happy Home Paradise currently, but cannot play it till tomorrow.
Right.
But the free content update went live, dropped early last night. And
Was-
we all freaked out collectively.
I only
Yeah.
found out because Fry posted in my Discord a tweet about it being live early, and I was like, "What?" So I went to my Animal Crossing and I went to update, and it started updating, and I was like, "Ah!" So I immediately like ran to our Discord and I was like, "Oh my god, Geek and Daniel, quick! It's an emergency!"
I had to manually update as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had to call my mom. I was like, "Mom," because she's like, "How do you know I wasn't sleeping?" I was like, "Mom, Switch now, upload Animal Crossing now."
Oh my
And she was
gosh.
like, "Wait, what? Where's my Switch? It's dead. Hold on, I have to charge it."
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, I love that.
So great. I had to archive Age of Calamity to fit the update on
I had to
my.
archive quite a few
You
things.
chose the Animal Crossing
Dang.
DLC over Age of Clams?
I did. I made my choice. I made my choice. I can always I can always shuffle stuff and re-download Age of Calamity. It's fine. It's fine.
I did a bunch of games that I just haven't played in forever, like a lot of little things that added up, like Let's Go Pikachu, Untitled Goose Game. There was a bunch that I just, a bunch of little ones, and it added up to be enough.
That's
Many
fair.
problems, but I like routinely go through and archive my games just because I don't actually own a lot of physical copies.
Okay, so you guys explained this to me because I don't know if you know this, but I'm an idiot. So when you archive something on the Switch, what's the difference between that and just deleting it?
Save data still stays, but the actual like download data for the size of the game is taken off. because everything is saved to the cloud except for Pokemon, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you re-download the game after you archive it, then all of your save stuff will still be there.
I thought the save stuff was there, even if you did delete it, because I thought they were two separate things.
Yeah, exactly. It's all saved to the cloud. So when you archive it, that's just to make like actual like physical space on your Nintendo Switch to put more games on.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
It's very quick to do though, so there is that. It's very quick and easy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Switch will even be like, oh, you haven't played this game in this amount of time. You should probably archive it. I'm like, okay, sure.
Yep.
Yes. So it's good.
TED Talks with Tubes.
Yes.
So, I guess starting with you, Geek, with your stream, what was the most exciting thing in the DLC that you've came across so far?
I would say, this is probably a cop-out answer, but just how much is added that we didn't know about. And, like, there's such little things, too. Like, going through the, redeeming your Nook Miles and, like, all these different things you can get. Like, I mean, I was freaking out because I have, brown street lamps, and then I have, like, a ton of white ones from Daniel because I switched them based on the season. There's hanging ones now, or like ones that dome over, or ones that have banners, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, there's banners, guys, there's banners. Like if you explain this to anyone who doesn't play Animal Crossing, it's just like, wow, your life is sad. It's like, no, you don't understand. But that sounds like a cop-out answer, but just like all these little things, just having that excitement to play the game again without, and also realizing like, oh man, I should have continued playing so that I had a lot more money in Nook Miles, but, and I was the one that kept saying, yeah, we'll probably get more stuff later, but just didn't take it to heart, I guess. But just overall, feeling like the game is alive again, and, with the DLC coming out tonight/tomorrow, like, so excited for that. Like, anyone that was watching part of the stream, I would say the first, 30 minutes was me going, oh, and now there's that, oh, okay. So,
it was chaos actually, that first whole portion of the stream, like thinking back on it. But I think that, like, for me watching your stream when you went live, because I was active in the chat, I think, and I was like, I don't know, the chaos didn't matter because I was just as excited. It was nice to share that excitement with everybody in the community there in the chat. It was just totally totally what you said though, like going through, and it was almost overwhelming though because there's like just so much stuff all at once, and I'm like, do I go talk to Captain first? Do I go talk to Blathers first? Do I go to the ABD? Do I gotta shop? Do I fix my house? Do I change my storage? Like all this stuff. Like my brain was like in total overdrive.
I'm glad it was just that first and not Happy Home Paradise at the same time.
Yes, and I feel like maybe that's why they dropped the update first, was just to space those two things out just a little bit, because all of that stuff was like so overwhelmingly awesome, but overwhelming with just how much stuff there was, and I wanted all of it, and then I hit that cap of only 5 things per day for redemption. I was like, no, but it was still great, and I'm like, I want these flower boxes. And I'm like freaking out over topiaries and just stuff like that. So it's awesome. But it was really funny last night because Kayla pinged us saying that the update was live. Geek starts streaming right away. I had just finished dinner. It was a late dinner. It was about 7 p.m. We had just finished dinner, and I got the notification, and I turned to my wife and I was like, the update just dropped early. And I swear all 3 of us, my wife, my son, and I, like leapt over to the couch, grabbed our Switches and downloaded it right away, and we're all like freaking out and like showing each other stuff.
That is a good family time.
It was kind of amazing. But
you guys all downloading over 9 gigs at the same time.
Yes, that's probably why it took so long to download. Honestly, it took like a good 10 minutes for mine to download, and which doesn't sound like a long time, but I swear it was the longest 10 minutes of my life. Yeah.
It really was. It was funny how many people were in the stream that were new that were like, oh my gosh, she's so funny. She's so freaking... Everyone's like, guys, it's actually normally really chill. She's not normally like this.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Especially when I play Animal Crossing, I'm borderline boring. So.
Yeah, it's normally a little more mellow. I'm not gonna say boring. Mellow's the word.
If we're being nice, yes.
Yeah. Tube, you're so patiently waiting. Just
so patiently
tell us.
waiting. I just love listening to your guys' excitement because, like, I experienced the excitement all on my own. I was like, I heard that the update was live. I was like finishing an episode of RuPaul with Morph, and then I got the message. I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, kind of not really paying attention, but also trying to download, but also, and for me, I was really excited, but it was one of those like, it was like I forgot everything that they mentioned in the direct. And I was playing through, and every now and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is a thing, and oh my gosh, this is a thing. And I just got like so excited and overwhelmed, and then I forgot about tarantulas, and I'm like running around all excited on my island, and then I get nuked by a tarantula, and I'm like, ah!
That's so funny. That's
Daniel's
so funny.
comment about tarantulas was hilarious.
Yeah, I caught a tarantula last night and immediately shoved it in a storage shed because I was in the middle of doing something.
Oh my
and I have to say, those storage sheds are such a game changer. Absolutely.
Yes.
I already built and strategically placed like 3 of them around my island.
Nice.
But the fact that it's so snappy. Like, I guess I'm so used to the loading screens of going in and out of your house and how annoying that is. And now it's just so snappy to just access your storage from wherever. I think that's one of the best additions to this whole update is just those storage sheds, honestly. Just absolutely brilliant. My son has already started collecting gyroids. He's already got 5 of them. He has.
I know that was my first thing too. I started like watering them, and it was funny. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter I posted, but like when you plant it and water it, there's like a little like
It's like
poof of
seed.
something
Yeah.
that comes out, and so I posted it and basically said, "Hey, why is this farting?"
that is, yep. I started talking about this before we went live, but the Nook Link app update. We were talking about this a few weeks back. I don't remember which week it was. But I was saying how when the update comes, I want them to make this more useful because there's really no point to it.
I remember that.
And now they did that. So there's new items to order with your Nook points, which is great. But also there's now the Island newspaper, which gives you sort of news recaps on things, but it also tracks your turnip prices, which might be like a year too late, honestly.
Yeah.
But still, I think that's a brilliant addition. I think it actually makes having the Nook Link app worthwhile, like actually useful. Am I the only one that's played around with that, or?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it. I was actually thinking
I'm
that
just now looking at it.
it was really funny, like going in and immediately running to Tom Nook to upgrade the storage in my house, and him being like, "Oh, it's 700,000 bells, and you can't do a loan." And I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." I like go over and I like pull everything out, and I'm like, "Here you go, 700,000 bells. You're welcome, Nook." Like that entire turnip thing, like none of this really costs that much. It doesn't faze me at all.
Yeah, I feel like they set those prices so high because they know so many people, like if anyone who bought this game launches is probably like filthy stinking rich now.
Yep.
Or especially if you've played consistently since launch.
Yeah.
Like I've just been amassing wealth from just selling whatever random odds and ends and just planting money trees. And that's all I've been doing to accumulate wealth, because I was like, oh, I'm already sitting on a cool 25 million bells. I like don't need to go out of my way for turnips or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I've already dipped in and spent like 1 million bells just since last night, because trying to fund the vendor at Harv's Island, trying to
I was gonna say that's like the part that
update, you know.
That's the part we've missed talking about so far, is Harv's Island and going there. And I thought it was really funny, like going there and having what's his face be like, "Oh my gosh, where's Harv? He's normally right there." And you go back and he's chatting with her name isn't Shem. Yeah, I was like, her name isn't Shampoodle.
I say that all the time. Like Shampoodle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's her shop name. Just kidding.
So of course I sat down, I got my haircut with her, and she gave me like the world's ugliest haircut ever, and so I was a little bit upset about it.
She gave me terrible bangs.
Oh my
just
God.
like that. And I was like, change
Today
it
she
back.
gave me bangs. Yesterday
Honestly,
she gave me a cute Dutch braid cut thing. That was cute. But
my haircut was okay, but it was just like a pixie cut where they kind of like have all like the hair flipped over, and that's really not me. So I just thought it was so funny. I was like, thanks, Harriet. And then I like took it
No,
off.
I didn't want to put the "oh no" answer in there.
Oh, I did that.
What happens when you
said,
do
"Oh, no."
that?
She goes, "Oh no, is it a bad thing? Oh no." And then she's like, "Oh, I could change it back if you want." And then she does the animation again and changes it back to exactly how you had it.
Oh, I was the same as Geek. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I didn't like it.
Okay, so yeah, if you tell her you don't, she changes your hair back, and then but you still get to keep, like, you get to learn the hairstyle, so you get to keep that still, which is fun. But yeah, because I was not gonna stay with those bangs that she gave me. They were terrible.
Right. Yeah, I like went back and I was like struggling because I was like, dang it, I don't have a mirror out in my place, so I'm like shuffling around trying to find this mirror, and then I busted out and I fixed my hair.
I noticed today, I didn't see it last night, but I noticed today that they added an ABD onto 𝗏𝗏's Island.
Yes, that's helpful too.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
But yeah, who was the first, for me it was Leaf, but who was the first vendor that you guys funded?
I wasn't paying attention and I didn't realize that you had to do them one at a time, so I did Kicks.
Oh.
Red.
Of course. Okay. Red is the second one that I'm doing.
Yeah, Red I funded today, so I'll have him ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do Leaf first because I want produce from him.
Yeah!
Yes, I've gotten a few things. I have Red, I have Leaf, and tomorrow I'll get Reese and Cyrus. Because I paid for them.
That's the thing. See, that's part of it, though. Like, the update was so big that I kept forgetting. Like, I was going through my day, and I was like, potatoes!
That's right!
Potatoes!
I don't have potatoes still. I've got
Me
wheat and carrots currently. But, yeah. It was good.
Tomato, sugarcane, and wheat. No, and carrots. I don't have wheat. I have carrots.
No, I sent you wheat.
Is that what you sent me? Oh man, I put my sugarcane next to my wheat. I'll have to fix that.
I was like, you should have wheat.
I was like, wait, what did Daniel send me?
The letter literally just said wheat.
That's I kept that letter. My Southern showing, and I favorited it.
Southern Geek coming out to play.
Oh yes.
No, that you're totally right though, Tube. Is there's so much to this update, and I was like feeling almost overwhelmed, but at the same time, like I kept feeling like I was hitting walls. Like I want to do more, but I have to wait until I can order more items, and I have to wait until tomorrow where this thing is funded. And it's like a weird mishmash of being overwhelmed with options, but also being like stuck without being able to make more progress, if that makes sense. Yeah, it was a weird mix.
So, yeah, it was funny because I was like, oh, like, Morph, we should hang out and play Crib tonight. And then I remembered the update and I was like, oh, actually, I want to play Animal Crossing after the podcast.
That's probably going to be all I'm doing this weekend. I've got a video I need to finish editing tomorrow. Because I'm already like a week behind on that, so but I'm almost done it. But I was like, maybe I'll try and fit in a stream tomorrow as well. I don't know, like sneak one in. So it's been very top of mind. But yeah, Jesse, you were gonna say something?
Yes, you mentioned there was a lot of new stuff added, and I don't know if this is an official number or if someone just looked at the files or whatever, but apparently they added over 9,000 different unique items, minor and major.
Does that include like different colors of the same, like a street lamp in white and brown and green and black?
That's what I was thinking.
I imagine it
would. All the custom things for each gyroid.
Yeah, the variations, and also probably anything that you end up seeing through the designer DLC as well.
And I hope I'm reading this right, but they have a small list of some of the what they felt was more interesting content added. So 𝗏𝗏's Island Shop.
Yeah, those are all the vendors.
You guys like it?
That's the vendors. Yeah, it's good because there's times where I swear I'm like, I need this person on my island today. Or Red is also a big example. I swear, Red does not show up nearly as often as I'd like.
No.
But now that he has like a permanent spot to set up shop, then that solves that problem, right? So, yeah.
It says new NPCs can set up shop in a store around the back of 𝗏𝗏's Island. We imagine each seller will supply players with different kinds of goods. Second is cooking. Craft recipes via an oven, all that stuff. There's a really funny joke in the Age of Calamity DLC about cooking.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I still need to play the DLC. I'm so bad.
I'm not even
You've shown
buying
your
the DLC.
true colors. Just throw away all the Zelda stuff behind you.
Yeah. That game doesn't have Zelda in the title, so...
So what is the new cooking update like?
You cook?
Is it like putting recipes together like Breath of the Wild, or is it like...
You can only follow the recipes that you learn. So in Breath of the Wild, like, you can basically cook whatever. You can take the ingredients and just cook whatever, and it may or may not turn out good.
Dubious.
But in this, yeah, you might get dubious food. In this, you just learn the recipes, and those are what you can cook. That's it. But it's basically like the same as just crafting, right? Except it's cooking. The good news is that you don't need, like, if you've already got like a kitchenette or a kitchen island in your house, you don't need the new kitchen thing that you learn the recipe for. You can just use that, which is great, because the stone kitchen, the stone oven thing that you learn is not going to fit in everybody's house's, aesthetic, right? So it's all about the aesthetic.
Yes.
So
my kitchen is pink.
I don't think you can have a pink stone kitchen.
I don't think so.
Stone oven. So yeah. Kayla, we need to see the cat.
Everyone's asking.
We need the cat.
I'm sorry, I'm trying. She doesn't want to be here. She doesn't like being held. Hello, it's Midna. She's purring, though.
Precious. Ooh.
There you go.
She's like, open the closet for me.
Yeah, pretty much. She loves being in the closet. It's her favorite. She scratched my belly when I was holding her. Everyone, I adopted this cat on Friday. Her name is Midna.
Nice.
I love it.
I read about Midna for like 8 hours today. So.
Ooh. Yeah, she's a very good cat. I'm a very big fan of her. She is now sitting on my desk scratching.
The next thing on the list is farming, which is something I thought was already there. Or did they just add more farming stuff?
Flowers is what you could do before.
Yeah, so
and now you can do tomatoes. Well, you could do pumpkins too.
Yeah,
but,
tomatoes, wheat, sugarcane, pumpkins, and more.
Yeah, that's all new. And I did this yesterday on
Daniel, you're in the game. It has Cap'n Islands.
Not that Captain. The islands are like kind of an expansion of the Mystery Islands that already existed.
Yeah.
But there's more to these ones, which is nice.
And it's pretty much just for gyroids, which is one of the few things I'm kind of like, I wanted gyroids on my island. I didn't want to have to pay 1,000 Nook miles to get one gyroid. That's the one thing that I'm kind of like, that's true. I almost cried listening to Cap'n. It's been so long. I'm glad they used the same tunes as he sang in old games.
Yeah, me too. I have big agree about that.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It didn't hit the nostalgic sweet spot for me, so I couldn't comment on it being from older games. But it was cute. It was really fun. I don't know. And I learned you can do some reactions while he's singing.
Yeah.
So you can clap, or you can do like the shocked face. And if you do them enough, like, he'll even react to you reacting. Like, he'll stop singing and he'll be like, "Well, you okay? Are you getting seasick or something?" So, which is really fun. But yeah, no, it's good. The farming though, I know I was doing this on stream yesterday, but I think a lot of people are probably just like just clearing out a whole section of their island just to plant.
I did.
Like, make a little farm. Yeah, so it's great. It's good. It's good. I still have a lot of empty space there because I don't have all the produce, but all the stuff.
Same here.
So to kind of quickly go through the rest of the list, there's the roost, gyroids, which I heard Daniel say 1,000 times. Storage shed, permanent ladders.
Storage shed is so good.
Personal
So good.
ABD.
Yep.
Ordinances. And
That's curfew. You can enact martial law on your
No!
island.
You can let them make your town beautiful too. They'll water your plants more and deal with garbage and weeds.
And then
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
new customizables, furnitures, fences, hairstyles, reactions, house exteriors, Storage expansions, KK songs are all getting new additions with this update. And then there's this other smaller stuff. So all that stuff, gyroids, storage shed, permanent ladders, personal AVD ordinances. Which one stood out for you guys? That was the best.
Storage shed is such a game changer.
Did we miss the part about Brewster?
The roost, yeah, he said the roost.
Oh yeah,
I haven't
the
done
roost.
the roost yet. My museum is closed today because of that. I haven't been time traveling because I've already had so much to do just in these couple days that I haven't bothered time traveling.
All this
I was
says
most
about it
excited for the roost.
is inside the museum you can now spend time with Brewster. You'll see visiting villagers here and can invite your resident villagers here for a chat as well. So tell me, guys, what is so much better about chatting with your villagers in the museum instead of outside the museum?
You're chatting over coffee. You're basically going on an impromptu coffee date with your villagers.
Oh, okay.
Come
It's
on.
the novelty
That's-
of it.
There's
Jesse,
also characters that can go to like Isabel can stop in at the roost and the Able sisters and stuff, and you can't really chat with those guys outside of their their shops or their work, right? Which is great.
Yep.
Isabel gets to come out from behind the desk, and it's not even for fireworks. So
Or Smash
Yep.
Bros.
or Smash, right?
Mhm.
There are only 3 times Isabel leaves her desk. One is to get a coffee break, the other is to run the fireworks show, and the other is to commit murder.
Yep.
Yes. So,
Isabel's complex
to
life.
destroy everyone in Smash. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, does anyone have anything else about Animal Crossing?
There's so much, but we won't get to the other topics.
I was about to say, let's just not get
I think
started.
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other update comes tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe next week we can touch on that.
Yes. You can download it now. I know I said that before, but I'm sure people have shown up since then. But you can download the update or the new DLC now, but it won't let you play Happy Home Paradise till tomorrow. So,
Yep.
All right. So before we go to the Age of Calamity DLC details, there's a quick sales numbers from Nintendo, which I know a lot of people aren't that interested in, but specifically for the Zelda stuff, I thought it was kind of interesting. But it has almost 100 million Switch units have sold so far. Animal Crossing has sold about 35 million. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is almost 39. I'm just going to round up to the nearest million. Smash Bros 26, Breath of the Wild 25. And I think this might just be the Switch version, and the Wii U version only has like 1 or 2 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield 22 million. Wow. So Breath of the Wild outsold Pokemon, which has 2 games.
kind of really surprising.
Mario Odyssey has 22, so it outsold Odyssey as well. Mario Party has 17. Pokemon Let's Go has 14. Splatoon 2, 13. Ring Fit Adventure, surprise, is 13. And with where's Skyward Sword? Yes. So Skyward Sword HD this month officially outsold the lifetime sales of the Wii version, which was 3.67 million. It's getting close to 4 million now. And Link's Awakening, where are you? Outsold the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color version, which had 4 million and 3 million, and Link's Awakening has over 6 million. So, interesting.
It is. I'm not too surprised that Skyward Sword already outsold its Wii version. I'm actually surprised it didn't sooner, because everything seems to sell better on Switch. And there was a lot of good publicity around Skyward Sword this time around. So, yeah. I mean, there was the vocal minority of people, as usual, the naysayers. But I think for the most part, the reviews and the general talk about it was that it was like the general consensus was that it was a big improvement over the original and worthwhile buy. So I'm actually a little surprised that it's not higher, to be honest, for Skyward Sword.
Yeah, it's actually tied with Age of Calamity in number of sales.
Ooh.
So yeah, I guess that makes sense. I was thinking, like, to me, it was odd that a 2D Zelda game, Link's Awakening, outsold Skyward Sword.
Right.
But Link's Awakening has been out for like 2 more years, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's had the time to catch up.
Yeah.
Or not so much catch up as outpace. Yeah, it's been out longer. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, where is... Yes, the Age of Calamity DLC. Has anyone tried it, downloaded it, played it, looked at it?
No.
No?
I'll probably watch the cutscenes at some point. I don't plan on getting the DLC.
Right now, I haven't even beat the game.
Oh, nice. I haven't either.
I've done most of the story.
I am the worst
bought
Zelda
it.
fan.
Yes, you are. No, I'm just kidding. I bought the DLC, but I haven't played it through yet because I keep thinking, oh, when I play it, I'll just stream it. But then there's so many other games to stream, and I played Metroid like through start to finish 5 times, and then Animal Crossing came out, or the DLC for Animal Crossing. It's just there's always something that I keep feeling like takes priority over it. Which just I feel bad saying because I really did enjoy Age of Calamity.
So Tubes, don't feel bad. I haven't beaten Age of Calamity either, so...
Oh my gosh, but you're Nintendo!
No.
You're the game over
Oh
guy,
my gosh!
though.
How could Nintendo not play his own game?
The farthest I've gone is debating with Joe if 𝗵𝗶 is a Pokemon or not.
Ah.
Oh, he is.
That's what I was saying, yes. Because
Yeah.
you basically capture him, and then he helps you along the volcano. It's like using Meowth for cut so you can get past a bush.
He's got his ball.
Yeah.
It's Pokeball.
Exactly. So the DLC, I don't think this is really spoilers. It's just like the battle settings. Do you guys consider that spoilers? No. Okay. So there's what?
The main story stuff, anyways. So
Battle for Kakariko Village. Battle of Gapanga Village. Vicious monster battles. So basically, electric Lionels and stuff like that. Just overpowered bosses that were already there. More enemy variations. So there's a lot more variations of the silver and gold difficulties. The Coliseum and Lanayru Road, along with the new story battles, Age of Calamity's second wave of expansion builds on some other iconic locations in Hyrule, the Lanayru Promenade, which was... I talked about that in a video recently, and Gate. I had a lot of trouble pronouncing the Promenade. It reminds me of pomegranate, which is what I said in the video a bunch of times. Yeah. As well as the daunting Coliseum are 2 such locations brought to life with a new look. The scenic areas appear before their demise during the Calamity. I see what he did there. Showing them in all their architectural glory. Yes, that is a word. There are still Lionels knocking around though, so players must use caution as the associated missions are not limited by time. Players can go for an exploratory stroll through these grand locations. New outfits for Link, Purah and Robbie, and the bonus DLC character, which I think is kind of obvious who it is because it's just everyone who had voice acting. Like that, yeah. They tried to make it, yeah, but it's like you're really gonna like have every character that has voice acting except one playable. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I think in the base game there were 2 voiced characters that were playable, right?
Oh yeah,
Or no, I guess there's 𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏. Aside from them, which
were you gonna say Hudson?
No, Hudson
Okay.
wasn't in Age of Calamity. No, there's Astor and 𝗏𝗏 were both voiced in and not playable in the base game as well. So,
Do you guys know when the story takes place?
depends. Are you gonna ask us or Nintendo's marketing team?
No, you got no. Like, do you guys like when you're playing through the DLC, the story where it fits in with Age of Calamity? Because when the DLC was the trailer first came out, we discussed if it was going to be like a little bit after Age of Calamity or before or during.
I assume it's before because they're like the time travel stuff. Like basically, some of the time traveling characters get sent back to their original time, right? So it would have to be before that happens, wouldn't it? Like before they end up sent back.
Yeah.
So basically, just before the game's ending.
Yeah,
Before the end of the story.
No, it's kind of before and during, because where most of the story is 𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏's story.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I got the names wrong. 𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏.
No, that's
So,
right. 𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏.
Where it's mostly their story, it goes into a bit of detail and then like how they first came across Egg. I think it was them. I don't know. Because like in Age of Calamity, it starts out with she's running away from the Yiga or whoever, and she trips and drops the egg, and then whenever Link gets next to it with the 𝗙cie it wakes up or something. Is that what happens?
No, at the start of
Or
the
is it
game, he goes back in time. Egg goes back in time to Rocco.
No,
And
not that
on the
beginning.
ground,
Like when you
Link-
first have
When you
Egg
first find
introduced
it.
to your party. Yes.
Yeah. So what happens is Link it's just sort of sitting on the ground, like it's presumed that's where he landed when he went back in time. Link stumbles across him. When you see 𝗵𝗃 running, it's 𝗵𝗃, and she's holding the 𝗙cie. And when she drops it, and Link catches it, that's when Tarako sort of wakes up and responds to it all.
Okay. So maybe I'm mixing up this with that.
So
Because I
don't
think
know if they...
this shows it shows how Egg gets there, basically. And the main boss battle is really interesting. But I won't spoil it.
Okay.
We may be spoiling it in a couple of weeks. For maybe possibly a guest coming on that may have had something to do with the game.
Ooh.
And what else is there? There's I don't think it's really a spoiler because we know the champions are in the game, and we know in the first game we had scenes kind of like this, but you have scenes where some of the older characters like Sidon end up interacting with like his young baby self.
Whack.
So it's really interesting. It has a bunch of really cute moments in it, and I messaged Joe whenever I first seen it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's really good job!" Because there's a conversation between Daruk and Yunobo, and I completely forgot that it was the same person. I was just like getting so into the story because it's only like 30 minutes long if you watch all the cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really cute. And talking about how Link was his hero and stuff, and yeah.
That's cool. There was Sean Chiplock tweeted out a scene that was a conversation between 𝗏𝗏 and Rivali, and he was saying how proud he was the scene turned out, just because of how the difference in tone between those two characters and just how it really, yeah, like these voice actors, it really shows how incredible their range is, you know. All of them, really. So it's great. It's great. And I'm still confused about Tulin, but how that happened, but yeah, I have to play this DLC at some point. I swear I will. Yeah.
And it kind of answers the question on some of the mystery in the time travel, I guess, where like some people weren't sure if they intended for it to be the Breath of the Wild version of the, I call them the Descendants, but not all of them are.
Right.
But yeah, where the new champions or whatever they're called from Breath of the Wild come back to this Age of Calamity time, or if it's the future of this spin-off Age of Calamity that comes back in time, and it kind of confirms that it's the Breath of the Wild versions. Which,
I think even in the base game, though, that kind of is implied.
Yeah.
Because Sidon remembers Link.
Yeah.
In when he shows up in Age of Calamity, which wouldn't make sense if it wasn't the Breath of the Wild timeline, sort of, or Breath of the Wild version of those characters, right? Yeah, that's all I got. So a lot of the dialogue just kind of implies that that's the case, at least to me. But I guess there still could be room for interpretation there, because Sidon would have been alive back then anyways, so yeah.
Gosh dang timelines.
Damn time travel shenanigans.
But
yep.
I think it's really great. I expected it to kind of be a bit longer cutscene wise, but I kind of understand why, because with normal Zelda games before Breath of the Wild, if they wanted to make DLC or something, I know none of them really had DLC, but if they wanted to, it was just up to the development team, where now if they want to add something in, they also have to like hire all the different voice actors in all the different countries to come in and do all their job, and then that makes it probably twice as expensive. So maybe that could possibly limit the amount of DLC it gets, but I imagine we'll get at least 10% of the DLC that the first Hyrule Warriors games got, which was like 50 packs. So at least 10%, I guess, would be like 2 more packs. Because with the amount of cells and the way the story goes in this, I think there's more room to tell. And there's also the one voice person left that you can't play with yet. And I expect we'll see more of his story, because when he's introduced in it, it's just weird. And it makes no sense. But yeah.
It's okay to be weird and make no sense, though.
Hopefully.
Basically me in a nutshell, so.
Yeah, nice.
You just agree? Come on, man.
All of us to an extent.
Yes.
Me, I'm weird, but that 𝗙𝗵𝗲, whack.
Whack. Whack. Yeah.
Oh,
There's an Animal Crossing meme involving that whack thing.
Are you dancing with your egg?
Yeah, I'm dancing with the egg. How'd you know?
I moved it beside you and started dancing.
The timing.
Perfect.
Yeah. So there was something else. Okay, so not saying too much on this, but actually, Daniel, do you want to cover the Zelda 64 thing that you posted in the Discord?
Oh yeah, I'll just pull that up here. The portal thing, right?
Yeah, because I might say something.
Uh-oh.
And
Roll up here.
you wouldn't know, so you wouldn't be able to say it. But I don't know what would be allowed to say or not say.
All right. Well, the gist of it is, Giles Goddard, who was a developer that worked on Ocarina of Time. I'm not sure in what capacity or what his role was exactly, but he shared online recently a sort of snippet of video that was a bit of an old tech demo that was intended to be in the game. And from the video, it looks like it would have been like based on the rooms that it shows, it looks like it was within an early version of the first temple, I want to say. And it has like an infinite hallway sort of thing going on, very reminiscent of the infinite staircase. Looks sort of like a floating crystal thing, but it's a portal to go into, and it looks like, from what Giles says, it would have been basically like a portal function that would have worked in the dungeon to like warp you between. Well, it's like a portal, it warps you between places, right? So
Yeah.
not unlike the game of the same name, Portal, but like a decade and a half earlier. So I don't know. I don't think it's ever stated why it was scrapped. It might have been technical limitations, although from the little snippet of video that he shows, it doesn't look like it looks like it runs just fine and that it was working. But maybe it was working for the DD and they had to cut it because
Yeah, so I have it on screen for people that are interested.
Perfect. The scope of Ocarina of Time, of Zelda 64, changed so much during development, right? Like, you see with the most recent, the F-Zero cartridge dump of stuff, some of those early versions of areas were just physically larger in so many ways. And there's so many things that just had to be rethought and scaled down and down and scaled down until you see like these areas where the basic skeleton, the structure of a lot of these things is the same, but just refined and just like tightened up. And so yeah, who knows if this was the case here, if it was just like something where they're like, you know what, there's not really much purpose to it, or there's no point to it because there's warping, or it serves no gameplay function really, but it's cool. It's unclear what the reason was that they removed it, but it that clip that Giles posted, it just looks so cool. It really does look so cool. Like such a neat concept that I don't think really has made it back into the series in that capacity, at least not in this way.
No.
Which is interesting because Nintendo doesn't often sleep on good ideas.
So
yeah,
you mentioned you don't know what exactly he did on Zelda.
I'm not sure what his role was.
Yeah, so I don't think he. Yeah, so I don't think he worked on the main development of Ocarina of Time, but mostly the pre-production and developing the tech demo and engine and ideas for the. Like, he was one of the main people behind the first Zelda 64 trailer where like Link looks all weird before they changed him to look like the new one, and he's fighting that shiny. Yeah. So he was behind that, and with this, I don't know, but it seems like it could possibly be from the time when Nintendo wasn't sure on how powerful the Nintendo 64 was, and they were going to have it all take place inside a castle, and these portals would have warped you, like in this demo, it just warps you to a different part of the hallway or whatever.
You know, so that would make sense, because they had that concept that was similar to Mario 64 then,
yeah.
Right?
And the crystals would have essentially been, it would have been more like Super Mario 64 type portals in the paintings, as opposed to Portal, where you like it's more involved with the gameplay. I think it would just be closer to Mario 64. But again, I don't know anything.
I just found on the old internets is that Giles Goddard is the man that programmed the interactive Mario face on the title screen of Super Mario 64. He's the one that blessed us with that. And he did so by attaching painted ping pong balls to his own face and using an indie cam to track the movement, and then programming them as separate little points of control, low control.
Cool.
So that's just cool. Yeah, just a nice little bit of trivia, a little bit. Thank you. I can't even express how much time I wasted on that screen, just like
weren't people
pulling on
upset
Mario's
about
cheeks and eyelids as a kid.
Me
the
too.
3D All Stars version? Wasn't it changed and people talked about it?
Don't
I
remember.
don't remember that being changed in 3D All
I
Stars.
still remember being able to mess with his face. I don't know what changed.
I remember people complaining about it, but people complained nonstop about that game, so it could have been something
It's
else. They moved on from complaining about Super Mario 64 in the 3D version, whatever, 3D All Stars, to complaining about Ocarina of Time with the online.
Still works with Switch Online. This is what I did the other day. Just clipping
Nice.
Mario's
A
forehead.
photo of it at your disposal like that. You're like, wow, this is a good looking face.
Because I had to tweet it. That's what.
So something else that I thought was interesting that I talked to Tony about a little bit was with the Nintendo 64 disk drive, which the 2 expansions for Ocarina of Time would have been on, Gaiden and Zelda. He worked on porting a game, it's really bizarre, called Doshin the Giant, from that to the GameCube. And there was some other stuff that in there that we found out that I thought was interesting, especially for Tony at Hard for Games. So I'll talk to him about something, and maybe something's going to happen. Hopefully, cross your fingers. And yeah, it was really interesting. I remembered he posted this a long time ago. I think he did, at least, or maybe he just talked about it or had a screenshot. But it's nice to have an actual video of it.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda would have been so weird if it ended up looking like that.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just so impressed by like the wealth of knowledge that people in the community have, and that you have so many people in your circle that you can just pull from. So neat.
Tony's doing good work, though.
Yeah.
Hard for Games is like next level, incredible. With
I was in the
stuff
chat of his stream the other day, and he was trying to raise, I think it was $300 to get this interview from a magazine translated, and there was a bidding war.
I was in that stream
where people were donating like $100 at a time, and he ended up like getting 2 to 3 times as much as he was hoping.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, Tony's great. Very much, he's got a wealth of knowledge about. Actually, hold that thought. We just got a super chat from Taker 610. Guys, the 3DS version of OOT looks so good. Playing the NSO version makes me sad. Why we don't have an HD combo pack with Majora's Mask on Switch is a lost opportunity. True. I wouldn't want the 3DS versions. I would rather they do it from the ground up. Things are a little too squishy and overexposed. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, and because something I noticed, I was testing out some of the Switch Online stuff, and the Switch Online version of Ocarina of Time, I noticed had an issue that was part of my complaint about the 3DS versions, and it's just something with the lighting. But on the N64, you know, Ocarina of Time just has like a very it's just very dark, like not like in the figurative, oh, it's a dark game, like it is, but in the sense that like it's literally dark. You know, you go into a dungeon and there's this sort of enveloping darkness. You stand on the central room in the forest temple, and you can barely see the other end of the room because it's so dark in there. And it really is part of the mood of that game to me, like the atmosphere of it all. It's just got this very scuffy, dirty feeling to it, and it's all dark and grungy. And the 3DS version and something I know Switch Online version is that it's just the visuals are like the colors are literally brightened up, and it's just like it's so much less dark, and it just takes away from the mood of it all to me. So
that worked for Wind Waker.
Yeah.
The Wind Waker
Oh,
HD.
well, yeah, Wind Waker's visuals. Yeah,
they lend way
that
to
was
that.
That was totally the look for Wind Waker.
But I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely random.
Yeah,
sorry, finish, Daniel.
No, I should stop now because I'm carried away. Please
also,
go.
no one asked me permission to share my peanut butter. I don't know why it came out like that. It just did.
You're sharing your peanut butter now, geek. There's nothing you can do about it.
You gotta see your passport first. You're from a different country.
I already like the video. That means I'm entitled to peanut butter.
That's right. Like this video, guys, and Geek will share her peanut butter. I didn't say who she will share it with. So.
No, Geek's gonna kill you.
She'll share it with her future self.
Yes.
Yeah, just put it to the side for a few
future spouse,
minutes.
and I was about to freak out.
No.
I'd be like,
But
how old is that peanut butter going to be then?
No. Oh, in that situation, yeah.
I mean,
I was just meaning set it to the side for 10 minutes and then let your future self have some. But what I was going to say
married in 10 minutes. Sorry.
Is earlier I mentioned reading about Midna for like 6 hours, and as amazing as it would have been to be reading about 𝗬𝗵𝗲 cat, it was
I'd read about that.
Yeah, it was
No question.
the other Midna, and there was a bunch of interviews. An interesting one, I think, 2005 at E3 by IGN. They were playing through the demo, and he was talking to 𝗏𝗏 and Miyamoto while they were playing through the demo. And some people already knew that the 𝗿𝗏𝗃𝗀 kind of replaced what was meant to be the beginning area for Twilight Princess, because it was designed specifically for a demo for E3, because the original starting area was missing a lot of features that they wanted fans to play and use. Like 𝗿𝗏𝗃𝗀 in the demo has a canoe and everything. You had to use the bird to get the cat on the roof instead of getting the baby basket, and the baby basket was just flowing down the river. There's a bunch of weird stuff as well. And one of the things they said is that they were surprised so much by the fans' reaction to the demo and how much the fans liked it and enjoyed playing it, that they ended up replacing the area that they did have with 𝗿𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃, which kind of ties into a video I'm doing. But the other part of that is something really interesting they said about something similar with the Forest Temple. Like the Forest Temple was also created just for the demo, and the other original Forest Temple would have been completely different, apparently. And even weirder was when he was asked about the timeline, and this was in 2005 around June, because it was E3, and the game was meant to release like 4 or 5 months later. And at that point, he said that it took place about 2 or 3 decades after Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, which still lines up with it being like a descendant of the Hero of Time. But he also says that it's a prequel to the Wind Waker, which confused me, because it was like Miyamoto and 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃 both together agreeing that it was that.
Interesting.
And it wasn't a situation where like, well, maybe they hadn't thought of the split timeline, because in one of Daniel's videos, he uses an interview where Miyamoto and 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃 specifically mention Ocarina of Time having a split ending, and Wind Waker takes place on one side of that, and then the other leads down a different path. And at this time,
I think that interview was talking about Twilight Princess at the time. I think it was around when Twilight Princess was released. And basically the interview they were saying was basically the timeline as we know it, which was Wind Waker is sort of one ending, and the other split leads to Twilight Princess. So maybe their vision of it changed drastically during development?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just goofed and just rolled with it during the interview.
Probably. I mean, they delayed the game at one point specifically to add what became that Link's crossbow training, like that part in the Hidden Village where you're going around saving all the cats and shooting all the bokoblins. So, like, if they delayed the game just to put that in, then who knows what else they did. So, Kahoot, are you guys ready for Kahoots?
Kahootie!
Sure.
I thought you just said cootie, and I was like,
Cooties.
what?
Oh,
Cootie!
Kahooties.
Anyone remember that game? I don't want to say board game, but like with the 3D creatures. No one knows cooties. Okay, never mind.
No.
Like Mousetrap. Mousetrap had 3D creatures and traps.
Yeah, it was similar to that. Like things like Icebreaker. That was another game where you have to like set it up. Things like Jenga where you have to set it up and you do things. Cooties was one. They looked like little ants, but they were like this thick.
Very neat. Speaking of board games, Morph and I are really into one that he got for his birthday called Clank, which is basically like you're going into the dragon's lair to steal treasure, and every time you like steal a treasure, or sometimes when you pull a card, you make noise, and every now and then the dragon can attack, and so your noise are like the little cubes, the little clanks. So every time the dragon attacks, you take all of the noise that everyone has made and you put it in a bag, and then you have to pull out the pieces based on how many like you're allowed to pull. So it's like sometimes you'll pull a dragon piece, or sometimes you'll pull one of yours, and that's how you get hurt. It's a lot of fun.
Ooh.
I love it.
All right, sorry, it took a second. Kahoot tried to trick me. Whenever I first logged in, it just popped up and wouldn't let me click on the quiz and was just like, would you like to start a plan? And I'm like, no, I just want the free games.
That sounds kind of rude.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, we want you to pay.
All right, everyone, this
Someone named Daniel
is...
and Man in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, they were all
I was
different
gonna
colors.
say.
Aha. I think that Daniel in the chat also wanted. Just so you...
Also, what?
Also, what?
They wanted the peanut butter.
Oh.
Too bad.
Too bad. Share the peanut butter.
Yeah, I think all the roles are set up properly.
Sweet. He thinks.
So everyone, this is Wind Waker. You go to kahoot.it. You can play along with us. The number is 496-3264. And I tried to make it easier than normal.
All right.
It is 10 questions
We
about
shall
Wind
see.
Waker.
I love Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
One question
yeah.
was accidentally about Majora's Mask, but
Uh-oh.
I literally just erased the part where it says in Majora's Mask, and the question worked exactly the same with the exact same answer.
Oh.
I'm offended.
Offense.
Not okay. Don't allow it.
Curious which
Not.
one that would be.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll
That's good.
you should know.
Okay.
When you
I
see it.
should. There's a lot of
How
things
would
I
we
should know.
That's
But
a mood.
I often feel like there's things I should know.
Wait. How long has the egg been on Daniel's head? Is it still
Oh,
there?
a while. It's been there a while.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
I went to see if he was still
Yeah.
with me, but he's gone now.
No, he doesn't want to dance with you. He wants to perch comfortably on my head.
I was just telling Matthew that I miss being able to dance around with him since his knee surgery.
Oh.
I hope he's recovering okay, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. He's back to work like 3 days a week, 2 hours a day, so he's getting there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's a start.
Give me a Kahootie.
Ew, she's got.
She's got cahooties.
Honestly, it sounds like way grosser than cooties. Like it sounds like I'm trying to say something entirely different, and I should not. Also, Remembrance Day is afoot, so I have my poppy, which I will immediately lose. I paid $2. I donated $2 for this poppy.
That sounds right.
Yep.
Do you guys do poppies in the States?
I don't know what that is.
I guess not. So,
do the States do Remembrance Day?
No, you guys have a different holiday for it. It's the
We
same thing.
have like Veterans Day, Memorial Day. We have things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So
whichever one's November 11th, same thing. It's just different name. But we call it Remembrance Day, and you wear the poppy. Support the veterans.
Is it just us?
Oh, for us, we'd probably wear like American flag pins and things like that.
Oh, it says upgrade to allow more players to join? It's never...
I remember seeing something, though, that was like, Remembrance Day, and I was like, what the heck is that?
Oh, that might have been me posting about it.
No, like on my literal calendar.
Oh, okay.
And my phone shows all of the things. Like, apparently today is Diwali, so...
Today is Diwali.
Yeah, which made me think of The Office, so...
Yeah.
Let me see if I can fix this. I don't know, it's saying upgrade to allow more players for some reason, which it's never done.
Yeah, everyone is saying that the player limit is reached.
Ooh. Kahoot wants you to pay money.
Kahoot's tired of you using their service for free.
Had enough free trivia.
Oh, Aaron says we do have poppies. How do I not know this?
Oh, okay. Because this is a whole Flanders.
I mean, I'm thinking of the flower. Poppies.
I mean, that's what it's meant to be.
Yeah, there's like a poem and stuff too. Like
Right.
in Flanders fields, the poppies grow.
We buried all
I've definitely heard of it.
dead soldiers, and then flowers grew.
Yeah.
It might be that we don't do it as much, maybe
terrible.
in my part of the U.S., maybe like Florida, that's just not a thing.
Okay.
Because we get a lot of the southern rednecks. We
Maybe
ride
it's too hot
alligators.
for poppies there.
That too.
Lush?
We ride alligators.
I bet you do.
It's a terrifying prospect.
We literally, like, we have zoos, but in my area, there's specific, well, it's like an hour away from me. We specifically have a zoo that's called the Alligator Farm.
Wow.
You guys,
You know, so for tourists who don't see them on the daily.
I am terrified.
in Florida, you guys actually have a wolf sanctuary as well.
Yeah, so it's only gonna
I
let
actually
3
don't
people
know
this time. I guess
Oh.
next week I will get the whatever the
weird.
cheapest plan is so more people can join. I'm sorry everyone, but at least you can watch Daniel possibly lose. I don't know.
He's not gonna lose.
No.
We're just really gonna see how bad I am.
But I
As
still
long as the questions
But if
aren't
there's
about
only
how
3 of us, we'll all be podium.
I still want to see everyone in the chat to give their answers in the chat as well.
All right, that'll be a good compromise. That's how we used to do it when we used to pen and paper trivia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Be
right.
good. Just be honest about your scores, people.
They can't be
Yeah.
honest about speed, but
No.
All right. Starting
well, they could
now.
be honest. They don't, but it's harder to be.
Wind
harder to
Waker.
verify.
Do you like my
3,
name?
2, 1.
Question is, how do you solve the scales puzzle in Tower of
In Wind Waker, what is the name of the shield Link begins with? Hylian Shield, Mirror Shield, Hero
Help me.
Shield. Help me.
Help me. Help me.
that's what I would name it. Help me!
Yeah.
I got it.
I love that. I love that.
There's even more pressure to go fast now.
This one
I
would
know.
work as Majora's Mask. Is this the one you're talking about, Jesse?
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
the shield
yeah.
in Majora's Mask is also the hero's shield.
Makes sense.
All right.
Wow.
That was mean. The bar that popped up on the screen that said whatever upgrade, it was blocking the next button. So I was
Oh.
waiting for it to go to the next question, but it was just blocking
Pay
it.
us money for the next question.
They're
Yeah.
like, we want your money, Jesse.
All right, so Cap Bergerson, Geek Apprentice, 𝗷𝗵𝗲. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Next. Question 2. In Wind Waker, what is the name of the second dungeon? Dragon Roost Cavern, I'm Trapped, Earth Temple, Forbidden Woods.
That took me a
This,
second.
I feel like, depends on what you count as the first dungeon.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
why
I
I
remember this game.
So I got
like
no
after I
cookie.
answered.
Forbidden Woods.
See, that's the
Yeah.
thing is I count Forsaken Fortress as the first dungeon, Dragon Roost second.
But you
That's
don't
what I thought too.
you don't have a boss in
Yeah,
that dungeon until
Yeah,
don't
you do.
fight it until later.
yeah.
But that's what I love about it. You do half the dungeon. All right, that's fine. This is fine.
Fight,
I'm just
fight,
glad I got
fight.
one correct.
All right.
That he did.
Fine.
This is fine.
All right. Question 3. Hold on, I want to see the chat. Where are they at?
Where you at, chat?
I'm
But I would
trapped,
agree
though. Should've
Dragon
been
Roost
right.
is technically the second.
Thank you.
I put Forbidden Woods because I figured that's where he was.
Oh,
going
so
with it,
you're.
But
What did you guess, Tubes?
I don't remember.
Nice.
Tubes put I'm trapped.
Oh wait, that
I'm
was-
trapped.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember.
So wait a second. Aaron has a point in the chat. Is there a hidden message in these answers? Because so far there's been help me and I'm trapped.
Maybe.
They're gonna be in Daniel's basement. Is that where we're going with that?
Oh,
I can't comment on rumors and speculation.
oh no.
All right.
girl.
Question
Oh,
3.
no.
Question 3.
I'll jive.
Geek Apprentice is in first.
Hey, get it.
Tubes, you're only
Alright.
slightly behind
a little
Daniel.
bit.
Less than 100
I'm
points.
gonna make it worse.
Question 3. What is the name of the bonus mini dungeon? Savage,
Daniel's
Labyrinth, Cave of Ordeals, Daniel's Basement, Secret Shrine.
Daniel's basement.
Dang it! I wasn't sure. I just went crazy. I knew it wasn't right.
I also got it wrong. And I already forgot what I clicked.
The Savage Labyrinth.
Oh, I
just
said
love
Cave
that
of
name.
Ordeals.
Cave of Ordeals is Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
I know. As soon as I hit it, I was like, no, it's a different one.
My
Oh,
short-term
you're,
memory doesn't exist today.
you're
I'm
only
sorry.
losing by a teeny bit. 4.
Daniel's
What is the
basement
name
was
of your
second.
second character the player controls? Yeah. What is the name of the second character the player controls? 𝗵𝗃, Medley, Link, Zelda.
I
Statue
was
isn't in here.
I was confused by the wording of that.
How come random statue isn't in here? Is a statue a character, I guess?
Well,
Okay. I
even
knew I was gonna get that wrong. I was confused by the wording for some reason.
What about seagulls? I'm just joshing you, Jesse.
Get trolled.
I'm just Josh you.
I'm just Josh.
I'm Josh. We're all Josh now.
I talked to Josh the other day.
Oh, heck.
Oh
Nice.
right. There's also
Good
the
man.
actual Josh.
Uh,
The real Josh.
There are many real Joshes in the world, thank you.
all right, question
What?
5.
Yes.
I named my Squirtle Josh
Nice.
in Pokemon.
What item does Zelda/Tetra use to speak to Link? Banana, Pirate's Charm, Pirate's Necklace, Pirate's Bracelet. Oh, jeez.
Banana. For
That was
sure.
quick.
We were already hold on.
It's the banana.
Yeah. You didn't answer banana. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's the banana.
Also,
That,
on
that
banana.
sounded like the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗄𝐵𝗍𝐵. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
What's wrong
it's like,
with
we're gonna
me?
shoot you
Yes.
through a. I'm sorry, chat. They can't see
What?
the. They couldn't see
They don't-
the answers because of the black bar covering it up.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh.
But they could hear me
Bummer.
reading it, and they were guessing
Bummer.
anyway. All right. So next question. Number 6. Why is Tingle in jail? Because he is Tingle. He stole a banana. He stole a Picto box. He stole a cell.
Oh, I got lucky.
He stole a banana
Because he is Tingle.
because he's Tingle. That
Honestly,
should've
I'd
been
put him
an
in jail
extra
for that
point.
reason.
Yeah, it's like
What?
he's on the island, but where does he even
I
live
would
at?
also. I don't know if I would.
In
fall
our
for Tingle. I don't
imaginations.
think. I feel like it would have taken an army to prison Tingle. So powerful.
Yeah.
He's a powerhouse.
Oh,
He's strong.
He's a successful entrepreneur, and they just couldn't handle that, so they just found any reason to lock him up.
was his name Perlo? The guy whose outfit's designed after Tingle in Twilight Princess.
Perlo, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in one of the interviews, they said they put him in, and they used like an in-lore kind of reason of why Tingle wasn't actually in Twilight Princess and why they designed a new character kind of based off Tingle. And they said because at that time, Tingle was off on his own adventures in the DS games. So it wouldn't make sense if he was also in Twilight Princess. And I'm
But
like...
he's in Majora's Mask and Wind Waker and Minish Cap. So, like, none of it makes sense.
Cop-out answer.
Alright, next
None
question.
of it makes sense.
What is the name of the snot-nosed kid?
Daniel.
Zill, Bill, Daniel, Jill.
Oh,
Daniel.
I can't believe Daniel's name's actually in there.
Ooh, I actually got...
I got that wrong. I'm really sad.
I have no idea.
It was Zill.
That's what
Never
I
I
clicked!
clicked Zill, and I got it wrong.
Jesse!
Oh.
Jesse!
I'll flip my table.
Yeah, it says Jill.
Did we all...
What?
Was it... It's Zill, though, with it.
Yes.
Yes.
We clicked Zill. I clicked Zill.
I did not click Zill. But
What... Which one is the right answer?
Probably
Zill.
Jill.
But I clicked Zill, and it says I got it wrong.
Yeah, I must have messed up on this.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. The stream caught up. Jill was correct,
Yeah.
according to
But no one got any points, so it was kind of like
Jill.
a throwaway answer.
and no one
anyway.
even put Jill anyway.
We'll just call them Jill from now on.
Yeah.
The Snot Kid is the worst.
8 of 10. How many kids are in the Killer Bees gang? 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like the replacement for the
Dang it.
bombers.
I was between two and I wasn't sure.
Yes. It's 4.
Daniel's
I
over here
knew
like
it.
child's play.
Wait, how did Daniel
Killer
only get
Bees
points?
were-
I thought 2 people
I
got
got it
4.
wrong. I don't know what I answered.
I put
What did you-
5.
What forms does Puppet Ganon not have? Boar, worm, spider, crab. Which does he not have? Puppet Ganon. He has 3 different
I
forms.
hate Puppet Ganon.
Crab.
I actually dislike that fight as well.
I hate that fight
It's pretty
so much.
not enjoyable.
Lobster Ganon would be cool though.
Lobster Ganon,
Yeah.
Jamash Link's lobster.
Tubes over there with their pictures. Alright, next question. It's also about Ganondorf, I think. So
Oh.
𝗏𝗵𝗲, you're in second. Look at that.
Oh my god, guys, I'm so honored to be
10 out of
here.
10. How many times does Link fight Phantom Ganon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Phantom Ganon. Not Puppet Ganon. Not Ganondorf. Oh,
I got it
everyone
right.
got it right. Yes.
I mean, technically, you could say like 8, like 6 to 8 times,
What?
because in Ganon's castle, he like.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But really, you could just say it's all one fight, and 2 would be correct.
All right, I wonder who
Because
the
he just
winner's going
pulls
to
you a
be.
run in that dungeon.
Yeah.
It's a great. I love Phantom Ganon in
And I
Wind Waker,
got
by the way.
3rd place. This was my first time getting podium because there
I
were
didn't
only
come
3 of
in
us.
last.
Oh.
Guys.
That actually made me think there was a show I was in that it was only a cast of 3. So, of course, I go to this audition and I'm like, oh my gosh, you only need 3 people and it's Shakespeare. I mean, it was a comedy, but it wasn't like a Shakespeare comedy. It was William Shakespeare abridged revised. So, like, it was a spoof type thing. And I was like, there's no way I'll get in. I got in. Only 4 people auditioned.
Oh.
What?
Well, you beat out that 4th person.
Exactly. We asked about that. They were like, "Oh, we couldn't stand that 4th lady." Sure.
Oh. Oh. See, what they could have said was like, "Oh, everyone good. It was a tough call, but you were the better choice," and that would have been a much nicer.
I mean, they were complimentary. They're like, "No, you guys are great." But they were like, "But also, she was just really bad." Or it wasn't that she was bad. They just really didn't like her. Also, because 3 of us were roughly the same age, and then this lady was like in her 60s, which I think would have been hilarious, but she was really annoying in the audition. It was improv stuff, and she broke the main rule. You never say no in improv.
Yeah, that's the first rule of improv is say yes.
No, Batman, I never made podium.
Oh.
I always end up dropping at the last second.
It's a good. It's a new day for you, geek. you
Because
made it.
only 3 of us play.
So we can start
Don't
the
count.
Zelda mailbag. Also, in the chat, Rafe, who I assume is a new person. I haven't seen the name before. Says, I love this. Great. We've been doing this every week. Lately, we've been basing all the questions off of a specific game. Maybe next week, what if I made an Animal Crossing or like a non-Zelda thing?
Intrigue.
Intrigue. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Okay.
Whatever floats your dang goat, Jesse.
Maybe I'll have like 5 Zelda questions, 5 Animal Crossing. Were they easier this time?
Yeah.
I didn't do as bad as I normally do, but then again, there were only 3 of us, so I have.
Well, you,
I have no
you
way
would
to
have
measure.
gotten 8 correct.
That's not bad.
No. You got...
Because what I would say is, even though I got a lot wrong, they weren't unreasonable questions, you know?
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good.
Cool. All right,
They
Daniel.
weren't how many keys are in this dungeon.
I cannot...
Yeah, that. Yeah, that one. Oh gosh, I was like, I don't know how many keys are in the freaking fire temple. Oh no.
Oh, don't worry, Natsu. There was an error with the trivia to where only 3 people could join for some stupid reason. Maybe it only gives you so many unlimited things, and then
Can I sign up and you can use mine?
if you want to, yeah.
All right, hacks. Let's go.
Right.
I missed. Yeah, so it is time for the Zelda mailbag where you can write in and give us your questions. So if you're in the live chat, we don't really have any new questions except one if Daniel could get it from the Discord Zelda mailbag chat room.
Yeah, it's just exactly what I was just doing.
Yeah.
I want to take this opportunity
Yeah.
before we actually start the mailbag as a shout out because Binding of Isaac has an expansion coming out on the Nintendo Switch and other platforms today. Called what the hell is it?
I thought it already.
Repentance.
I thought it had
So
an
it can-
expansion a long time ago.
They added a new one that came out today, and it added a multiplayer feature, and I am so excited! And a bunch of new items, and yeah, it's just gonna be amazing. I'm so excited to play it.
I tried playing it because it's basically like the layout style of the first Zelda game, but it was too difficult, and I don't like procedural generated stuff where it's just random and makes up things. That's why that other Zelda spin-off,
Cadence of Hyrule.
yeah, Cadence of Hyrule, like I like becoming familiar and then finding new stuff in the dungeons and everything and exploring, to where in those games you can explore all you want, but the next time you explore it's just going to be different, so there's no
Yeah.
I agree. I think some people like that because it's like fresh, but I find if you have something that's a little more handcrafted, there's a bit more care put into things like difficulty curve and stuff like that. So I don't know. I would take a handcrafted dungeon over a procedurally generated one any day. Yeah.
I'm just excited to have a new game to be able to play with Morph.
Oh, for sure. Sorry, we're not trying to rain on your
Come on,
parade.
guys! I just want to couch co-op.
It's cool that multiplayer is coming.
No.
Do you already have the game?
Binding of Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew has it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Nice.
Thank you, though.
I was going
Does
to
everyone-
politely ask for it.
Everyone hates me. No, it's okay. Thank you, though.
It worked with the skateboard. Did you guys like that game? Or was it just too weird?
Yeah.
The controls are really janky.
I found it very difficult. I thought it was fun, but I had a lot of difficulty with it.
It's so hard. I've never had such a hard time playing a game. But it makes sense. I guess, skateboarding as a bird would be very hard.
Yeah. Yeah, a very, pudgy, round, tiny
Being
bird.
a human playing a bird who is trying to skateboard, impossible. How can a human be expected to play this game well when the bird doesn't even have thumbs?
That's part of the charm of it, I found, was that it was just
Part of
so,
the charm.
Like I absolutely think it was part of the charm was like I just like stumbled and fell constantly, or like I'd try to jump and reach something and just like topple over and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's some amusement to be had there for sure.
It's a very cute game.
Nice.
Anyways, did we pull that question?
Yeah, Daniel, did you get it?
Just hanging out.
So actually,
are you doing your job, Daniel?
Oh no! Am I ever? There were 3 questions in the Discord here.
Oh, nice.
So one of them is really quick, so we'll just really do that. I think I know what everyone's answer will be. But J Meister asked, Mailbag, which Zelda companion do you like more?
We answered that last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that was the really quick one. It's weird. I think it's what, Midna?
The answer was Midna.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Midna
I named my cat Midna, dang it.
Ah, well, that doesn't tell me anything about your feelings on the matter. Not anything whatsoever. All right, my bad.
Guys, I'm hungry.
My bad. Link3 also asked, do you think we'll see a new trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 alongside the reveal title at the Game Awards, or will we see it way before?
Not before.
I think it's too late to be before. You know?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe after, not before. Maybe they meant after.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think January. I don't think we're gonna see it at Game Awards.
I hope it's not at the Game Awards, because like I'm honestly like I'm not interested enough in the Game Awards to actually want to sit down and watch it. And to sit down and have a game like that be like have that many details announced to something that I'm probably not gonna watch live, like
yeah, I don't want to have to watch the Game Awards.
No, yeah. I've watched them 2 years in a row now, and both times I've been like...
Yeah, last year I kind of gave up when I had that weird Vin Diesel game.
I forgot about that.
Where he was like a caveman or something. I don't know.
Yeah, caveman Vin Diesel.
I was just like, all right, I guess this works.
I'm washing my hands of the Game Awards.
So all I can remember
it's
is
the same initials as me, and I don't like it.
the Breath of the Wild DLC was shown there. Was anything from either of the Hyrule Warriors games shown there?
Not that I can think of. Breath of the Wild itself, like pre the DLC, the base game, before it came out, had a preview show in there where they were actually, it was like Bill Trinan and Nate Bildorf exploring the Zonai ruins. And I remember being blown away that a Lizalfos hit him and it took 7 hearts of damage.
That was the Game Awards?
Like,
I thought that was a Treehouse.
Yeah, that was the Game Awards. Yeah, that was at the Game Awards.
The Game Awards
like
was also where they were
thing.
sitting on the couch with the TV.
I think we're thinking about. Oh yeah, that was.
I just made the video about it with the gold shrines.
Yeah, so that one that you did, that was Game Awards 2014, and the one that I'm talking about would have been 2016, so 2 years later.
Did you watch that video that I put up?
Yeah, it was great.
There's a funny moment in it where Miyamoto's wearing this black suit with the gray shirt.
Aonuma steal Miyamoto's outfit.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Miyamoto's dressed all fancy in like a really nice black suit, and then he has a Zelda shirt, a gray Zelda shirt underneath with like a shield logo and the Hylian crest and everything. And then in the very next scene where Aonuma released a short video saying that they were delaying Breath of the Wild until the next year or whatever, he's wearing the exact same thing that Miyamoto was. And it's like, wait, I like stopped the editing of the video and like went back to the last scene and just like put up a side by side, and I was like, did Aonuma steal Miyamoto's outfit?
He totally who wore it better?
Yeah.
No, I like that video, Jesse, because it got my brain going, because
they had the golden
a while back we were
shrines.
talking about there's the golden shrines thing, which we saw in like concept, right? And I was thinking about it, and it was like, at that time they were so sure the game was going to release in 2015, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well back then they had like all this planned stuff, golden shrines, things were different. But then when they released the first trailer for Breath of the Wild, and everyone got obsessed with the one Guardian shown in the trailer. Now Numa said later on that they had decided to change like the story to involve the Sheikah technology more. And part of me wonders, I was like, did they have a full build of the game that was like almost ready to go, almost ready to be released? And because they had to rework all the shrines and stuff, that pushed the development further back as well. You know, like they had to rework all the towers, shrines, and everything. I don't know. Part of me, like, I saw that video, I was like, I want to play this build of the game. You know, like without. Not
Just
to say
wait
I don't like
20
the
years
tech.
until Hard for Games gets a leak for it, like they
There you
did
go.
with
There you go.
Zelda
Gosh.
64.
Legit.
50-year-old Daniel. I waited my whole life for this.
I mean, no, but I can't help but wonder, like, what I legit actually, I would be so psyched. But I can't help but wonder, like, how different those shrines and dungeons and stuff like would have been back.
Well,
back then, you know, like
there's the golden,
right.
like there's the golden shrines that you could see in the overworld when you're zoomed in, but in the concept art, there's also the inside that looks kind of like a shrine, but it's all golden and it looks more like a traditional dungeon instead of what the shrines ended up looking like. So I feel those shrines would have actually been better because it would have been more like a dungeon as opposed to just everything blue.
But if everything was just gold, I mean, like, you'd run into the same issue of it just feeling redundant, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But, because, I mean, like, a shrine on its own is cool. The aesthetic is cool. I think people's problem with it is the fatigue of it being so, like, repetitive, right?
Yes.
But
so, diversity.
like what
Spice
you
of life.
were saying with the Guardian, they basically took the Guardians from... They were basically supposed to just
Those are
be
just, like, enemies.
a variation of the Octoroks from the first Zelda game. Because they were huge compared to Link, and they would go around really fast and shoot the nuts. Or the whatever they have, the ball thing. Are they nuts?
Rocks.
The rocks. Yeah, Octorok. Yes. Okay.
Rock.
Sorry.
Yeah, nut.
So then, well, I was thinking like a Dooku nut because the Deku scrubs, but that's different. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Now
No, you're
they shoot
totally right.
scrubs at you.
They shoot the Deku nuts.
Go be a nurse.
Oh.
So
No scrubs.
it went from basically just being another random enemy to the whole game being about them. And then they also had to change all the Wii U stuff. Like I'm sure that was when the hookshot was taken out, the beetle that we see in the concept art where you can fly it around with the gamepad, they took it out. They just completely took out everything for the Wii U. And was like, okay, how can we remove all these features that we've spent 2 years working on and just not do anything with it now?
Don't get me wrong, I love Breath of the Wild, obviously. But
I would have never
just,
guessed.
It's the same thing with Ocarina of Time. I love. But if I had a chance to like play through an early build of like one of the beta builds of the game, I would just love that. You know, not to say, and this doesn't mean that I dislike the final game or anything.
What about an early build of Twilight Princess?
Yeah, totally, totally.
Because
the Twilight Princess had the same issue that Ocarina of Time's development had, in that they wanted so many more large open areas and they had to like scale things down. Nintendo's ambitions getting ahead of themselves.
Yeah. Apparently all the developers blame it on Miyamoto, and they call it, if you read any Zelda interview, they'll use the phrase upending the tea table like 50 times, which is basically like that meme of someone flipping over the table because they don't like it. And they basically use that analogy with Miyamoto to where he'll come in, the game's supposed to release in like 6 months, and he's like, I think we should change this. And they're like, change what? The entire beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Like, make a new dungeon, make a new starting... Because like, that's what caused Twilight Princess to get delayed. Because they were like, yeah, let's flesh out Ordon Village and this other area, and then we can take out this open forest that we already made.
Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes worse. So Twilight Princess, great example.
Yeah.
For the worse is we had that long slog of production stuff in Village, which is painful to get through. It just takes so long. But plus, because of Miyamoto upending the tea table, we got Midna.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Super Chat. We need a game with Link Toon Epona already.
Toon Epona.
That's what Wind Waker was
in
going
development.
to be. Yeah, Wind Waker 2. He would have aged naturally as the game went on, which to me kind of seems weird, because would you be able to go back and do stuff from the beginning of the game?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love the concept of aging slowly throughout the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like a time skip.
Do we have another question? Does anyone in the chat have a question for us?
Someone asked a question that
All right.
I was gonna ask, and then I forgot.
Oh man.
Oh, it was Rafe. They had asked if the Oracle remasters have got debunked officially yet, which I don't know anything about.
Can you debunk it officially if it was never?
Well, good question.
I made a bunch of my videos on why I thought it would have other Zelda games Grizzo was working on, and not the Oracle games. But I do think the Oracle games would be possible soon. Not releasing soon, but either starting development or something like that. And I think it was like a week ago, I sent that screenshot of that one message to you, Daniel, and we didn't even, we just didn't even bother making a video or mentioning it or anything, but it was about the Oracle games, but we didn't think it was anything, so
yeah,
just ignored it.
It's hard to say with rumors like that, because even if it's like officially debunked, like Nintendo would, like, if they came out and were like, no, we're not doing
Skyward Sword.
Like that could still mean nothing, right? Like they could still, yeah. But I mean, we can speculate all we want, and that doesn't mean it's happening either. So it's a double-edged sword.
Honestly, this might sound weird, but if Nintendo did come out and say, no, we're not working on the Oracle games remake, I'd be thinking, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Now they definitely are.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Like that would make me more suspicious that they're doing it than if they were just silent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Not weird. You're totally right. Also, hi, Cliff.
Just Cliff, long time no see. I'm over there like roasting him in chat because he was playing Mario Party instead of Animal Crossing last night. I like turned on my Switch. I was like, look at all my people. My friends was playing Animal Crossing, and just Cliff was up there. Mario Party Superstars.
I actually looked through my thing last night. If I saw anyone not playing Animal Crossing that I know does play Animal Crossing, I was just like,
shame on you.
Unless they didn't know. Like, what if? Imagine not knowing.
Cliff was my homie when it came to Animal Crossing. Cliff was the one at E3 that popped off with me when it came.
Oh, I remember.
It came to Animal Crossing.
It was great. It was great. Yeah,
Cliff's
we love Cliff.
True friend.
Cliff's a champ.
This is a quick question in the chat. Sun Gohan Animation says, any news or leaks about Zelda 3D collection? Similarly, every time I've made a video, and I think Daniel's been the same way about a 3D collection, is it's not going to happen. If they're going to charge a full $60 for Link's Awakening and Skyward Sword, you're not going to get Ocarina and Majora or Wind Waker and Twilight Princess or any kind of collection for $60.
But Jesse, what about all those rumors that apparently we started? Sorry. I remember a lot of your videos getting comments from people shortly after E3 where people were like, what happened to those collector's packs that you promised us and that didn't get announced at E3? And I'm like, what videos were you watching? Because what we've been saying on this channel is, one, they're not going to release a collector's pack. They're going to charge you full price for each game. And two, they're not going to announce anything else this year because they want Skyward Sword to sell a lot and don't want another Zelda game to compete with it. And then neither of those things happen, and everyone's like, but you promised us this! We didn't promise you anything!
No, the things we did promise did happen. Like the trailers before E3 for Age of Calamity and that, and some other... Like, there was a thing where I was told something in April was going to happen, and I had no idea what it was, and I asked everyone, nobody knew. And then, like a few days into April, the first 4-figure statues were announced, which I would love to get, but they're ridiculously expensive.
So
very expensive.
I'll stick to my amiibos where they're $15.
Yeah.
Did y'all do my question? Justin Clark. Did Justin have a question?
I remember Justin asking something.
Ask it again, Justin.
Oh, here we go. No, I found it.
Cool.
Do you think the Ocarina of Time HD is more likely since everyone is complaining about the controls than the 64 expansion pack?
I don't think so everyone I've seen a lot of people say something along the lines of, well, I guess this Zelda Ocarina of Time on Nintendo Switch Online kills any chance of Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask HD coming to the Switch. And I don't think the two are connected in any way at all. Because if it was, then why, like, they released Super Mario 64 on the 3D All-Stars, 3D All-Stars, and then they release it on this. And then there's other examples where they did something similar to, like, they had the original game playable around the same time as a re-release or a remake or whatever. And I just don't think they're connected at all. Like, one is something that would have been done by Grezzo, most likely, and would have taken maybe 2 or 3 months, whereas the Nintendo Switch Online Ocarina of Time seems like it took someone 30 minutes. So
it does seem that low effort. So
yeah. What about you guys? I'm just sitting here playing with my hair. I'm sorry.
I mean, even though it's on Switch Online for, well, like, it's not even really for free. You have to pay extra for the expansion pack. But also, like, even though it's on there, like, if they announce, like, we'd still buy it. You know? I think they know that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo still had Skyward Sword for $20 on their Wii U eShop at the same time that they released Skyward Sword HD for $60. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I seem to recall as well when All-Stars, Mario 3D All-Stars, I need to actually say the full thing, was announced with Mario 64. I do seem to recall people saying that killed any chance of N64 games coming to Switch Online because Mario 64 would be like a headline game and whatever, right? Obviously that wasn't the case, right? So yeah, I don't know. Nintendo will do what they want, basically.
Also, with sorry, Choops.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, we can only really speculate so much, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, Nintendo's out there and they are listening to us, but they're gonna go, that's dumb. Do it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weirdest situation like that where they did, like, release something kind of close to the other was when Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask came to the collector's edition on the GameCube, when, like, you got that basically for free for getting that version of the console, but both games were still selling really, really well on the Nintendo 64. And it's like they kind of almost put an end to their own, like, the popularity of their own game. And then later on, when Wind Waker finally came out, or leading up to it, they did it again with, like, a second version of Ocarina of Time, which also included Master Quest. So it's like, yeah. So there's been a bunch of situations where they've done this before. And then there's people that says they've already remade it, they won't remake it again. And the example I go to is the Pokemon games, which I know it's slightly different, but there was, like, the original Pokemon, red and green in Japan, and then they had red and blue, and then they had yellow, which was like an updated version of that, and then eventually they had the GBA versions, fire red and leaf green, and then later on they had the Pokemon Let's Go games, or whatever, which was just another reimagining of the games. So it's like that one Pokemon game ended up getting remade and stuff many, many, many times.
Yeah. And Ocarina is sort of a legacy game, so, like, I feel like there's almost no how many times they can, honestly. So.
And even,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, even at the time Ocarina of Time 3D released, it was when I was writing for Zelda Dungeon. There was a bunch of interviews with Aonuma where he said that he really loved having this version of Ocarina of Time on the go, but even he said that he would really like to experience it updated for a modern home console to be played on like a large TV with really nice speakers and surround sound and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and that was him saying that while the new version of the game was already out. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess... Does anyone else have anything on that? We can do a final question, then go.
Kind of to add to Justin's point, his question, he's mentioning everyone. There's a lot of complaints floating around on the internet about
the
controls for Ocarina of Time. So actually, the complaints I've been hearing are more about the things like the fog not loading in properly, stuff like that. But control-wise, I made a video recently where I was testing the controller versus like using Pro Controller. I didn't notice very much difference, honestly. Ocarina of Time, even like I played through it on the N64 not that long ago, and I really feel like the game itself, being an older N64 game, is just a little clunkier with how it controls compared to modern games. So I'm not sure if maybe that's what people are experiencing, and they're maybe just not remembering it as like being as clunky as it is. I'm not sure, but
and some people just like to complain about everything too. And that gets a lot of views, being like, oh, these controls are horrible. Some people might genuinely have an issue with it, but at least in my experience, I've seen a lot of people that they just like to be negative Nancys. So.
Oh, totally, because that pulls in the views. That pulls in the numbers.
Yeah.
If everything is the worst thing ever, then, you know, yeah, there are totally channels where everything's either a dumpster fire or pure gold. There's no in between, when things can be in between. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like, the thing is, I didn't play very much of it. I played up to, but didn't even go inside the Deku Tree. Like very little amount of time actually spent on the game. But I didn't notice the control be really any worse than it was on the N64. I noticed a little bit of input lag with the Switch Pro controller, but not so much with the N64 controller, which I thought was weird. But I wasn't sure if it was like, maybe this is just a weird Bluetooth thing. Who knows?
You know what?
Maybe.
Wired controllers are bound to just be more responsive, right?
I have a thought on all of this, and let me just beat you all.
Right.
So, complaints about the emulator and controls being all wacky and stuff. At least we have an option of how to play. Do you know how I was playing Ocarina of Time before on stream? I was emulating it. Do you want to know what controller I was using? I was using an Xbox 360 controller. It hurt. It hurt so bad. I killed myself over and over and over, and I'm dumb, and I bound my keys to the wrong buttons, and I would show up to things, and I would throw bombs everywhere, and people were like, Chubes, why are you throwing bombs? And I'm like, I can't control
I remember the bombs.
myself. So you know what?
The bombs were so funny.
And it gets really hard because you see A and B and X and Y, but they're swapped.
Yeah!
Or no,
so, like,
not on N64, but yeah.
No X and Y, yeah, but...
There are so many ways that you can get Ocarina of Time in a legitimate way, which I am dumb. An area where I don't actually have to pay for it. Also, I'm saying I'm dumb because I actually have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I bought it on my Wii.
Oh.
Yeah.
So buying it on your Wii kind of ties into a question someone up above had saying, Daniel Man. So maybe this is an alt account for Cap Bergerson, I don't know. Prior to Nintendo Switch Online, I heard that Nintendo had a habit of writing semi-custom emulators for most of their big virtual console games to improve the quality. Is that consistent with what you all have heard? So there's been a bunch of videos on YouTube lately where people have kind of gone more in depth on this, but to make it quick, there used to be a guy who worked at Nintendo and was just really good at creating specific versions of the games and emulators to run on the Wii, which is why instead of just dumping a bunch of games on the Wii Virtual Console at once on the Wii or the Wii U, they just came like one at a time, like a steady flow, because they would actually take however long to go in and try to get the game running as best as they could without any issues. Whereas on the Switch, who knows what they're doing. Because it's not that they're just using a standard emulator for the Switch, because you can upload a normal emulator onto the Switch and play all the games perfectly. So like they made the choices to go in and change the fog and everything around. Like those were choices they made for the game. That's not a glitch or a bug with the emulator. That's just weird.
With Ocarina of Time, because like, to me, I noticed it was visually, it was brighter on Switch.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that maybe they decided to do that because if you're playing in handheld mode, like outdoors or something, if the game is too dark, you just can't see what's going on. You know, like, especially if you got sun, like natural light shining on your Switch screen, it's just like so hard. So maybe it was just a choice to make things just more visually clear, like clarity-wise. But
I get that, but like, why would you cater your game design to like one mode of playing?
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I'm not saying I agree with that decision, because I definitely don't. But I'm just maybe that's why. Just maybe because previous emulations of the game, like I played it on the GameCube and Wii. Not the Wii U, but I've seen screenshots, and they've always retained a level of that darkness that just doesn't seem to be here on Switch, you know. And it only seems to be Ocarina of Time. Same with the input lag thing. I played through Star Fox 6. That's an on-rails shooter. You have to have like superb reaction time in that game. I did not experience any input lag or any issues with it whatsoever.
I was about to ask you about that.
Start to finish, and it was great. So it seems really just to be Ocarina of Time that's problematic. I don't know.
I know the fog thing is in Mario Kart as well. Certain courses have less fog, but it's not as big of a deal with Mario Kart because I'm like, I really do want to see where I'm going, and that's a bright, shiny game anyway. But
yeah, no, that makes sense. There's a difference between like a race game versus like exploring a dungeon. Yeah, totally.
Nightmare fuel radiate for everyone game.
I'm just happy to have a legitimate way to play these Nintendo games.
For sure.
That's honestly all I'm happy about.
The one thing I will say, if I talked about this in the video I made, the N64 controller, you cannot remap the buttons on it. Which means if you want to try to play Switch games using it, good luck. It's not going to work.
That's your fault.
I did do that. But also, you can't. It's there's no way to unless you go in and just like permanently remap your buttons for your controller for everything, and then like you have to do it every time you go for games. There's no way to like really adequately remap your buttons for a Switch controller either. Do you know what I mean? And so like X and Y are mapped to the left and down C buttons. And there's nothing except for the right stick mapped to the right C button. And so like things like that are just like awkward. Do you know what I mean? Same with like up C is not mapped to anything except for up on the control stick. So if you got Joy-Con drift, that's going to be a problem as well. And like for some games, it's totally fine. Mario 64 barely uses the C buttons except for camera stuff. Using the right stick for camera is totally fine. But games like Ocarina of Time, where those C buttons are part of your inventory, I feel like it's so awkward. And if they just let you do custom, like they could have the default thing fine. If they just let you do custom button mapping, like per game even, instead of having to just permanently remap your buttons, and then if you want to like maybe go back and play a Switch game, like have to reset to default every time, it's just bad. that's my main point. It's bad. It's not good. So yeah, that's some thoughts there.
Okay, imagine this scenario. You hate Majora's Mask 3D's changes, right?
Not all of their changes. I not all of their. There are good changes.
Okay.
Like, you know, Song of Time being
a
little more deliberate. You know, adding more save points. I'm not opposed to that. You know, there are good changes.
In the same way they went in and purposefully, I assume they thought they were trying to make Ocarina of Time better with the changes they made. But what if they went in and did the same with Majora's Mask, to where you thought oh, I'm going to be able to play the original Majora's Mask. But then when you play it, it has the changes for the Deku skipping and the Zora swimming and all the stuff that you hate.
Eyeballs.
I'd cry. I don't think they're gonna do that because that's like way more effort than, you know what I mean? Like that's just so much effort for them.
Yeah.
They have to model in giant eyeballs and stuff that weren't. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I don't see it happening, but I'd cry if it did.
I think that's all the questions I see, unless you guys see one that you would like to answer. If not, then we can say goodnight.
Yes, I'm hungry.
And I'm tired.
All right.
All right.
Tubes, would you like to start? Where could people find you if they were interested in seeing more videos or stuff from you?
Absolutely. So, you can find me on my Twitter at 𝗙𝗵𝗲, which is where I post the most, and I'm quite often there. I also stream on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/𝗙𝗵𝗲 with an extra A. Oops, my bad. And I have also been uploading my VODs, so that way, if you can't make it to one of my live streams, I've been posting them on my YouTube channel, which is also at 𝗙𝗵𝗲. And I actually, when we were starting this podcast, uploaded my Halloween stream of Mario Party Superstars. So we're in costume as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and it's fantastic. That's me.
Nice. Geek, how about you? What kind of videos can people find on your channel?
You can find usually Zelda. It depends on like what's coming up in the moment. It is November, which for my channel is Hunger Games month. Yes, also Zelda month. For me, it's Hunger Games month. So if you're interested in that stuff, I posted a video earlier this week that's Hunger Games themed. But I do other things. Zelda, Animal Crossing. I recently did 2 collab videos, one with Captain Ferguson and one with 𝗙𝗵𝗲 about Animal Crossing. So that's a thing. But I talk about lots of stuff. I haven't talked about Harry Potter or Marvel in a while or How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, it depends on what's like been coming up. The only consistent is November is Hunger Games. But I have Instagram where I'll do sporadic Ask Me Anything stuff on there. I'll post random stuff. I have a Twitter. But trust me, you don't want me to get involved with Twitter, so it's promotion only. I would become a cancer if I got involved in Twitter. Trust me. I know myself too well. And that's it. I make videos and I talk and things. Is there anything else? I feel like I did something recently. Oh, I stream. That's a thing. Sometimes updates come out early, and so I stream at like 10 p.m. till midnight. So yeah, I don't stream very consistently because work and things. But yeah, you can see me rampage about how much I hate defeating bosses because I suck at them. It's a good time.
Have you still not beaten Skyward Sword then, or?
Nope.
Okay. Just
Aw.
checking. Just checking.
I can't get past this fish thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Yep. Same as last week. We
I
talked
can't
about this.
aim.
Leviathan or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
I want to save a man, but I can't aim to save my life.
Daniel.
Daniel.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am Captain Ferguson. That's 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 I also stream and make videos and talk about stuff. Usually every Wednesday is Breath of the Wednesday, although I streamed some Animal Crossing this week because obvious reasons. And I was streaming Metroid, although we finished Metroid Dread. So I'll actually be streaming some more Animal Crossing weekend this Saturday. Maybe tomorrow if I finish this video more. Maybe, because I've been behind on that. But we'll see if I finish it. I'm very close to it. But yeah, mostly if you're wanting some long form, like full half-hour video essays that are very cleanly edited, and that's the bulk of what I would say my channel is. That's the backbone at this point. And I've been playing through and examining the dungeon design of Zelda games, and right now working through some Twilight Princess dungeons. I am absolutely a Lakebed Temple stan, I have learned. So I'm sorry. I'm going to. Next week, you will see me vehemently defend Lake-Bed Temple and Twilight Princess for 35 minutes. So,
Numa said that was his favorite dungeon in the game.
I think it's great. I really think it's a great dungeon. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I've got some kind of special things for the rest. After Lake-Bed Temple, I've got some special plans for the rest of the Twilight Princess dungeons. Going to bring some peoples on to collabs type things. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking for it. So that's me. That's everything you need to know about burgers.
The real question is, will your old series come back of looking at the different areas of Hyrule?
Oh, Hyrule Tours.
Oh yeah.
Possibly. Those videos were a lot of fun to produce. But I'd like to. I really would. But I'm not sure yet, because I've just got like I've got like a literal list of projects I want to do. And yeah, so at some point I would like to review that, though, because I had a lot of fun producing those videos. And also we never got Tube on one of them, so I've got Jesse and Geek and some other people like Hylian Luke came on one, and 𝗟𝗵𝗃 was in one. So it's a really fun, but I guess it's a little more laid back. So maybe people aren't as engaged with it. I don't know, but I think they're fun. I think they're great. They're like little passion projects. So at some point, yes. But currently, I got to finish working because I'm like all in on that right now. So you know what I mean. I'm very invested in that right now.
Is it a really long video?
Which one?
The one that will be late.
Oh, the Lake-Bed Temple one? Yes, it's a 35-minute video.
Yes.
It's pretty long, but it's almost done now, so it should be good next week for next Friday. This is good.
Is that everything?
Yeah. I've also got a video where I just talk about Bruce for like almost 20 minutes. So just there's that too.
Nice.
Good stuff.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming and watching. Sorry we were late a little bit. Daniel had trouble getting his basement door unlocked.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the chatting and the questions at the end. I was experimenting with a weird layout thing. I gotta fix the chat box stuff, but I hope you like the idea of the layout at least. That way it's not just a blank black screen. The idea was to have a screenshot or something of the game that we're talking about up while
I saw that. I thought that was interesting.
I liked it.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Go follow everyone. There are links in the description. And have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.